Teachers and parents, ClassTag. This is Sam. It's been a while since we've seen you guys, but we have a really good set of people joining us. And if you haven't met me before, my name is Sam Hall. I've been with ClassTag for about 4 years. I was a former educator, so those that have been with us for a couple of years, you know my face and you're probably very familiar with me. But I have some great guests joining me. I would love to start with Jessica Cherry. She's in big with family nutrition, and I would love for you to kind of introduce yourself, Jess.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Jessica Cherry. I am the founder of Life of a Cherry Wife. I am a lifestyle and motherhood writer, and I am really happy to be on this show. I'm looking forward to getting some help and getting some new information about how to feed our kids.
That's great. And I would like to also introduce Rachel and Dr. Lewinstein from That's It. Tell
Hi
us,
there.
what are you guys up to? You guys have some really cool things going on over there, and would love to know more.
Absolutely. So I'm the CEO and founder of That's It. We are a company that makes healthy, nutritious snacks, especially for kids. So we have a lot of different types of products like fruit bars or little fruit snacks. We really started this to try to get people to eat more fruit. And so that was the genesis of the concept. I went to med school, and so it was at that time that only about a third of Americans got their daily servings of fruit. We wanted to change that. And so we created something that was very simple and portable. And there's only two ingredients, and they're both fruit. So we find ourselves here today trying to get kids to eat healthier. And we like to create products that are really just without the added sugars and colors and flavoring. We like to keep things simple. So that's hence the name That's It.
I love the brand name. It makes so much sense. It's so practical. And Rachel, tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rachel Rothman. I am a pediatric dietitian and feeding expert, and I help families have happier, stress-free meals by helping kids try new foods and eat new foods. And I have been so excited to team up and partner with That's It over the past several months to really promote our very aligned message on nutrition education. So, yeah, so happy to be here and chat with everybody.
And Jessica, I hear you have kids.
I do. I have a soon to be 4-year-old and a soon to be 6-year-old. They're a month apart coming up, and it's been quite a journey to get them to eat nutritious food. There's this thing called the brown diet where they just want brown, 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 brown. They don't want the variety of color that I put on the plate. So I'm excited about this. I really do want them to eat healthy and understand how to eat healthy.
And I'm excited as a mom too, because I have a 13-year-old autistic daughter who it's so tough to get her to eat anything outside of exactly what you're saying, like that kid-friendly food, like mac and cheese and chicken
Yes,
nuggets.
they call it
And
the brown food. It's
that
just
is so true. So any opportunity we can get to get them to get fruit, I'm down. And vegetables too.
yeah, vegetables are a difficult one for me as well. Especially like corn. You would think corn is great and they just push it away.
They do. You're so right. So, for those that are watching, feel free to jump in and ask questions. We are going to man the chat, and we will be happy to answer anything that comes through. Um, Post any questions you might have. Remember, we do kind of monitor chats, 24 to 48 hours afterwards. So we're happy to jump in and answer any questions. So switching over, Dr. Lewinstein, can you explain a little bit about what took you from medicine to building a company? That's very different, right? We're medicine to business.
It is. And it was again, that concept that we wanted to get more people, make it more portable, more convenient, easier to consume fruit. Unfortunately, since we started, it's actually gotten worse. Less people are eating fruit, getting their daily servings. So we still have a really, really big mission ahead of us. But what we want to do is really try to focus on the kids and teaching them the right habits, right? Getting them to see that there are items out there that are healthy and that are good for you, but that also taste great and that are fun. And so that's kind of what we're trying to do in terms of our product innovation and really what we do in terms of bringing new products to the market.
That's great. And as Jess, you have your own business in a way, right? Like not even in a way, you have your own business. So sounds like we have two like pretty good founders here, adding to their like tell me a little about your founding story, both of you actually, because I think how we get to business, even as parents or people who are concerned with kids, we have a reason usually why we do this.
Do you want me to go first?
Please do.
Okay, so I actually started off. I used to work at a college and I got pregnant, and then I had to quit my job to be a stay-at-home mom. I wrote my first article, 10 Things I Wish I Knew While Pregnant, as a vent session, put it on a Word document, put it on a web page, and it went viral on me. And ever since then, that's been 6 years. I've been writing about children and just everything in general about children, and eating is a big one for my family. I have my son is very picky eater, and you would think like strawberries, he would love to eat strawberries, but we literally had to come up with a feeding program so he could eat the strawberries. He would lick the strawberry and put it back on the plate. So we had to like hide fruit just so he could get his fruit intake. But why do you and your team feel like it was so important to address the topic of nutrition in kids? And what did you decide to do about it?
So, we were very firm believers that food is medicine. And, if you don't have to get to a point where you need to actually take medicine later on in life, we'd like to teach you how to eat healthier and lead a better life so you don't have to get to that point. So really that's kind of the genesis of the concept and really why we put out the products that we do. There are areas in the grocery store, like the fruit snack set. There's no fruit in it, right? And so that's something that we want to try to disrupt. We want to bring fruit to the fruit snack set so that parents have options to purchase things that have real fruit, that aren't neon colors and, more attractive to the kids because, they have, superheroes on them. But we want to make it fun, but we also want to make it nutritious. And so, we have products that are single ingredients, that are organic, that don't have added sugar or preservatives or anything like that. And those are the types of products that we feel parents would want to, provide for their kids if having the options of that versus, the fruit leathers and the gummy bears and those types of products.
Absolutely. I'm a parent who would 100% agree with that, especially as a kid whose kid loves fruit snacks, and we can go smarter than that, of course.
Absolutely.
So I have to ask, Rachel, how do you come in? I know you guys got together, you started Smart Apple Academy. I know there has to be a good reason why.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just first say it's been so much fun partnering with That's It and creating this nutrition education program together. I love that they are, number one, paying attention to nutrition education and also bringing in professionals and partnering with professionals like myself who are able to kind of just really align our messages together and bring them to the public. So obviously I'm a dietitian, so I just love being able to share with the That's It community and share with more people our message. And I will also just say I'm a huge fan of the products as well. Jessica, similar to you, I have a almost 5 and 7-year-old, so like same age difference. And I find that it is really hard to find products that are out there that are nutritious and that are fun and convenient. And I know this is something that parents like absolutely need. So I am just a huge believer in the products as well. So it's just been a great experience and so much fun to work with this team.
And just out of curiosity, Smart Apple Academy, you guys created that. What is it? Tell our users what this is.
Yeah. Do you want me to take that?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So Smart Apple Academy is a virtual nutrition education program that we created together. And it's a 5-part video series that includes some videos, but also a lot of interactive worksheets and different things that kids can do. And we created this to be something that children can teach their grown-ups. So the whole message behind it is, children, you watch these videos, you go through this so that you can teach your grown-ups about nutrition education. So we're really coming at this from a place of empowering children versus kind of, not talking at them, but talking with them and teaching them and creating these scripts and videos together. We've been doing so in a way that really that I feel we're opening up their sense of curiosity and exploration versus just saying, eat this because it does that for you. So we're really creating this like fun and joy filled experience for everybody, kids and adults as well.
Yeah, we wanted to flip it, the typical education component on its head a little bit and kind of make it more fun and interactive for the kids to, like Rachel mentioned, kind of direct their parents, right? It kind of, they take ownership of the content and the information that way. And it really allows them to kind of explore it in their own version of it and their way of how they would communicate it. So we wanted to make it fun, and Rachel was really, really pivotal in that. And getting us these great videos and the content that allows us to explore things like the senses, right, with regards to food and where the food comes from, how it's grown, and how we can use it. So we really kind of tap into a lot of these different areas that allow the kids to understand the kind of the 360 approach to food and health and wellness and exercise and stuff like that.
That's great. And Jess, with having kids, how do you practically get your kids to have healthy eating habits, or, be engaged outside or anything like that? How do you
Yeah,
do that?
my kids are actually night and day. We call them yin and yang in the house. So for my daughter, which is, I guess it's typical, but for my daughter, she really wants to know, what does this do when I eat it? What does this do when I eat it? How do I get long, pretty hair? And so I say, well, you got to eat your apples, apple a day. You're healthy, keeps the doctor away. That old saying. And for my son, he's just really, really picky. So I try to make it fun for him. Whereas my daughter is more educational. What happens when I eat this? My son, I have to make it fun. So I'm really happy that this incorporates fun, because when you try to educate, a lot of times it is talking at them, and there's kind of a wall when you're talking at, a 5-year-old. But when you incorporate it and make it fun, it opens up their ability and their want to try new things.
Definitely. And Rachel, I would love to know, what are some ways that you could tell people to help them build healthy relationships with their kids with food. I know for me growing up, we always had dinner at the table, and that kind of helped me with, and parents would talk about it, but I know there's more modern ways to handle that now.
Yeah. And I think that's such a great question. And I find that I get asked about this kind of healthy relationship topic a lot. And what I kind of take from that is that we want to help kids really develop this positive relationship and association with food and their bodies, and really trusting how they eat and how they grow. And I find that how we really do this, and one of the biggest things that I guide parents on, is that we take out pressure or fear when it comes to eating. I find that for a lot of kids, learning to eat and trying new foods, kind of similar to what both of you mentioned, it can feel really scary and really challenging. So we want to work with our children rather than against them. So when we guide and kind of teach about eating, I want to come at it from a sense of curiosity or wonder. I find that a lot of parents feel a lot of stress. Like, it's my job to get my child to eat. They have to eat this amount. But if we can take that out a little bit and think of it as it's our jobs, we as parents and caregivers, we provide the food, but then have to give trust in our children for what, based on what we provide, if they're going to eat it, if they're not going to eat it. So I think that that's a really big part of it. And then also, just like another big part is interacting and exploring new foods in just a fun and engaging way. And kind of similar to what we were talking about with Smart Apple, where We want to empower kids to explore the food. So if they're not ready to try the foods yet, that's okay. Can they maybe smell it or touch it, or just coming at it in their own terms? So I feel like it kind of boils down to that, like the word trust, parents trusting their kids, and also just trusting ourselves as parents and caregivers too.
I think that really hit home because, you always feel a little guilt if you can't get your kiddo to eat the amount of servings that they're supposed to have. So, there's a better way to approach that and really looking at the whole child and getting them interactive with you. And Dr. Lewinstein, you said something really interesting at the very beginning of the program, which was like, you realize that kids like those superhero packaging and they like to be, it's, you're selling to parents who really want the fruit, but you're selling also to the kids who, they like the interactive videos and stuff. Why did you guys take that approach? Did you recognize like, hey, I got to sell to parents, but I also got to, the kiddos are important too?
Yeah, it was really a collaboration with us and with Rachel, and really trying to find a way that would really connect with the kids. You can provide them with some data points or the parents and try to go through the parents. But we felt that empowering the kids to take it on on their own, and whether it's through coloring pages or interactive activities that you can download, we give them a little diploma at the end of the series once they finished it, so they feel accomplished. We really thought of all these different ways that it would be fun for the kids to actually work alongside with their parents. Even teaching them something that they learned how to cook, right? They take ownership and they're really proud of doing those types of things. And it allows them to explore further and want to learn more about different types of foods. So that's why, we created this series. And Rachel really put a lot of thought into all of the different types of videos and how we can break those out in terms of the educational components, but also, keep the kids engaged. And those are all living on the website. You can go check it out whenever you want. But I encourage the parents and the kids to go there so that they can work with them together and make it more fun, not only for the kids, but for everyone together now.
Yeah, Rachel, I love this whole approach. Jess, I know you probably have some burning questions as well that hopefully I haven't monopolized all the question asking.
I do. How would you advise parents out there like myself to get their kids to try new foods on a positive mindset?
Yes, great question. And I'm going to kind of go back to how I answered the other question about healthy relationship, and just take pressure off of your kids needing to try something new, and take pressure off of yourself as well. I find that when we feel like that's our ultimate goal, it can kind of backfire because it doesn't happen. We feel stressed, they feel stressed. So just know, first of all, just know that by providing new foods, by modeling the behavior that you want to see, by eating, with your kids or maybe next to your kids, you're getting your child closer to eating those new foods. So that's absolutely a piece to it. And then just to try to have fun. I always like to give this example. Instead of saying to your child, just try one bite of broccoli. All you have to try is one bite. If you don't like it, that's okay. Just try it. Instead, you eat the broccoli and maybe talk about its sensory properties. I love kind of getting silly and fun with a lot of this stuff, but maybe picking up the broccoli and ooh, this broccoli feels kind of bumpy when I touch it. Does it feel bumpy to you? Or, oh, on my tongue, it feels kind of bumpy, or it feels kind of soft. How does it feel to you? And even let's say your child isn't going to touch it to their tongue, but they're still seeing you explore it. And really that piece of it is that we want our kids trying new foods because they want to do it, right? Because they want to have that internal motivation, versus just trying it because my parents or because somebody is asking me to. That's where that long-term piece comes in. And in the first video in Smart Apple Academy, we talk about all about the senses and exploring food with your senses. So we play this game where we put a fruit or vegetable in a bag and kind of shake it up and talk about it. So things like this can be really fun, especially for kids who might be more selective or who might have a harder time, like even being with the food. They might need to kind of like even take a step back and do some of the worksheets and activities. So yeah. Um, sorry.
I think that was
Sorry,
just
I
a
missed
little bit
that.
of feedback. I'm trying. If you see me mute you, it just was a little
Okay.
feedback. So don't be too concerned.
Okay. Um,
I'm sorry for destroying your train of thought, but Rachel, as a former educator myself, like I think you really nailed it when you start bringing in the kid. Let them touch it and feel it before they start eating it, because some kids just sensory wise, they're just not ready yet, and they kind of like need to do like that poke it and see what happens kind of like interaction before they do anything about it.
Absolutely. And I sometimes like boil this down almost to, instead of us trying to get them to try a new food, let's think of it as trying to open them up and be curious about food and almost like change their attitude a little bit so that even if they don't feel ready to try it right away, the goal is that in their own time, that's what we're helping them do.
And that was a great question, Jess. You really got her going on that. It was awesome.
Thank you.
So, Jess, did you have any other questions for Rachel?
Yes. Where can we shop all the That's It products? I want to know.
I'll take that one for you. So we're in all the national retailers, the Costco's, Walmart's, Targets of the world, on Amazon, on our website. So you can Whole Foods. You can pretty much find us in most of the retailers around. We have lots of different products that you can find us. Everything from fruit bars to the little crunchable snacks, the fruit snacks I was telling you about. And a lot of different flavors. So if the kids don't like one fruit, there's plenty of other fruit that they can get as well.
So what's the most popular fruit? I have to know.
The most popular, it's our top sellers are strawberry, blueberry, and mango probably. Our crunchable little fruit snacks they're just simply apple. So we really kind of have a range of different flavors. It really just depends on what kind of fruit the kids like and what they gravitate towards. But hopefully with all the educational components, we can get them to explore all of them and see kind of what and taste them and kind of play with them and stuff like that. So it's there's a lot of fun there.
Well, thank you, the three of you. Thank you for joining. I'm going to let you guys put a little plug in. Jess, feel free to drop your Instagram following. Where can people find you?
They can follow me at Life of a Cherry Wife. I'm on all the handles everywhere. And Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, website, Pinterest, the whole thing.
And Dr. Lewinstein, where can everyone find you? What's your handle?
Our website is that'sitfruit.com, and our handle for all the social channels is @that'sit. So pretty simple.
Nice and simple, just like the product.
Just like the product. We like to keep things simple.
Well, thank you three for joining us. And like I said, teachers, parents, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. We will be monitoring the chat 24 to 48 hours. And we look forward to your questions. Talk soon, guys.